Is everyone good to continue towards Fort Vigilant, or?
I think so.
Yep.
Sure. I don't know where we're going because I'm blind now.
All that because Keen needed a bath.
Look,
Yeah.
look, you don't have to be blind in order to pay attention with your ears. He said Fort Vigilant.
Fine then.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
So, you guys continue on your way, and you make good time. On the fourth day, when you're only about half a day's journey from the fort, about 3 days out, you start seeing that the road gets a lot more uneven, a lot less kept, and you start to see the land become a bit more swamp-like. Again, it's not as bad as Somerset Isle, but it's starting to look like that. In the sense that if Somerset Isle was the heart of a swamp, this is the beginnings of a swamp.
Just
Small pools of water, wetter earth, that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're starting to get into the tropical, heated areas of the world. As I said, when you're about half a day's journey from Fort Vigilant, not too far out, you come across... Hang on a second, let me move you. I should also
This is
probably
bad.
put your tokens there. You're on the road, and... hang on. I don't know why I didn't think to put your tokens there. It's bad GM. All right, let me throw you on there real fast.
Mhm.
Not drawing.
Am I using my new token?
No.
Damn it.
Sorry, I forgot to make it for you.
It's the second time.
Old beard. This will be your. Just imagine this is just Keen's hipster phase where he still has his beard.
Wait, has Kip been here the whole time?
Yes.
Wow.
He wasn't in the
wow.
tavern with you though.
Oh, he was just quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was outside. Yes.
You know,
Practicing his acid breath thing.
you start to notice on the trail in front of you drops of blood. A trail of blood leading downwards towards Fort Vigilant, where you're headed.
I would like to investigate.
Should we follow the blood?
I would like to.
Well, maybe it's not blood. Maybe it's something
Perhaps
else.
determining the age of the blood might be of use. One of you
Yes.
foresty tracking individuals.
Bounty hunter?
Go ahead.
All right. Do you think it would be intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence.
Okay. 28.
Incredibly fresh. Not only is it wet, it's still warm.
Yeah, this is very recent.
It's also oddly... Here's the odd part. It looks human from what you can tell, but there seems to be a lot of it.
Huh.
As in almost more than you would expect from a normal-sized human.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Humans bleed a lot. Elves
Look,
not
I
so
already kind of
much.
see what it is.
Yeah, when you get close enough, you see a very large
Ooh.
wolf-like creature. It's bigger than you. Its legs and arms are more human-like than anything else, but its features, it's covered in fur. Its face is that of a wolf. It has a tail. It is very, very badly injured. Its chest has a large cut in it that looks like it was done by some sort of blade. It is bleeding a lot. It is crawling that direction, and it is panting.
I'm going to take out my bow and just keep it aimed at it and wait for the rest of the group to come.
Okay.
Finn's not taking a step forward.
As you do that, it sees you, and it looks at you with very intelligent eyes and sees the bow, and then after a few seconds it says, "Water, please. If you are to kill me, let me drink first."
All right. I will...
Shoot him with my bow. No, just kidding.
I will kill him.
And then give
I
him
will
water.
reach into my backpack and take out my water skin and toss it to him.
He will look at you and then look to the water skin and greedily take it,
Yeah.
and start drinking.
By the way he's bleeding, I think he's been tanking for something else, if you know what I mean.
He drinks all of it and then pants again and then says, "Am I to die here?"
Depends. Who are you and where are you from? You are intelligent, at least, so that's a thing.
Not smart enough to escape a blade.
Who are you and where are you from?
He chuckles a little and says, "I don't remember my name. I am from here."
Who did this to you?
He looks at you and says, "You are not from Coalhaven?"
No.
Then he points off in the distance towards the Fort Vigilant. "The prince and his men."
I see. And I will let everybody, have a chance to say something if they wish.
Pearson's only concerned, and he'll ask it. If we aid you, will you attack us?
He shakes his head and he says, "I do not know what others would or should do in my place, but I have no more desire to fight."
All right. I will start going towards him and lower my bow.
Pearson says, wouldn't it be wiser, Keen, to simply hand him a potion of magical healing? That way we can be a fair distance, just in case he ends up being a liar.
True. Guess that'll do. I'll take out a potion of healing, an adventure tier,
Okay.
and I will try and toss it to him.
He will try to catch it, though he has lost quite a bit of blood and he misses, but he will pick it up and staring at you as if not quite sure this is really happening.
Mhm.
He will drink it. After a few moments, as you see the flesh on the wound start to knit, it is certainly not enough to heal him completely. It leaves a large welt of a freshly closed wound, but he is capable of standing up. And then he looks at all of you and says, "Why?"
Pearson shrugs and says, we don't know who you are, and dying like a wild animal on the side of the road isn't very, dignit. It doesn't have a lot of dignity to it.
Yep.
And with that, he looks at you and says, "It would seem you do not share the same opinions of those we fight." And...
What?
Oh, go ahead.
I guess Pearson's just going to ask what he meant by that.
"The prince would not offer such kindness."
Well, we're not the prince.
He nods. Can everyone roll me an awareness check? What we usually do with those. Cole, use your tracking. Keen, your bounty hunter.
Intelligence. No, it's wisdom. So that many.
Okay.
On all of us? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Oh.
natural
Except for Baby
2, so
Junior.
it looks like I get to
Oh.
reroll.
Actually, Baby Junior might have better stats than me, and with that, hang on. That
is
was me.
this-
Baby Junior's level 1
Uh,
and cross-eyed.
Is
no,
this
no,
more of a
it's not.
knowledge or surroundings?
Surroundings.
Okay.
So more of a wisdom thing.
Oh God. Okay.
Jesus
Cole?
Christ, Cole.
Keen, you two to a slightly lesser extent. Cole, you hear growlings. There are about 6 other werewolves that are closing in cautiously from behind. They don't, from what you tell, because you rolled so well, they do not appear to be stalking you so much as unsure or nervous of the situation, if that makes sense.
I was going to ask when the conversation died down a little bit if, since this was a fresh room, to actually see if there's anybody else around. But that roll definitely makes up for that, I guess.
Yeah. In addition, you also can hear sound coming from the other movement, which from the other direction, which is much louder, and you hear the clinking of metal.
Well, looks like we're in the middle of
Something.
how much clanking of metal? Is it like an just could not even know the numbers amount,
no.
or
It sounds manageable.
manageable?
Sounds like a small
If you wanted to kill them all, you could.
So all that metal clanking is loud enough that everyone can hear because
Yes.
it's pretty obvious. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jarek will say without preamble, if you would like your newfound friend to survive, he should move immediately.
Indeed. If you want to live, you should get out of here.
Yeah.
With that, you hear from the distance, "Ho there! Back away from that beast!"
Did you call me?
Well, if you didn't
Finn
suck
raises
face
his
with every
eyebrow.
lonely heart in the at the tavern, Finn, then maybe we wouldn't be calling you names.
Boy.
Whoa!
I'm just joking.
And then Pearson slowly scoots away.
Yeah.
Finn shoots daggers.
Oh, that was all out of character. But
I know,
no,
I
Pearson
know,
will
I know.
comply. He'll back away a little bit. I'm assuming this is kind of like right here is like a rocky outcropping or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he would have been here in order to see it. So he'll back up to like here.
All right. You as basically from both sides, more guards in Coalhaven uniform start approaching. The werewolf that you have helped stands there silently, and as the others get closer, they say, "Don't speak to them. They fill your ears with nothing but lies. They will tear your throat out the chance they get."
Well, I don't know about that. We gave him a lot of chances, and he didn't attack us. He assured us he wished us no ill, and so far he's kept up to his word. Now that you're here, I doubt he's going to attack us now. If he was suicidal, he would be dead. But he's not.
From behind, you hear a feminine voice, less gruff than you might expect from one of the werewolves, who stands completely up, and she says, "He may not be as suicidal as you think. We are here to help him, if it comes to that." And at that, the guards are drawing weapons, but not moving.
How many guards are there?
Hang on, I'm putting them there. There's about 8.
This might be fun.
Yeah.
We are literally caught in the middle between some sort of fight.
Yep.
So, we as players have 3 options. We can side with one side or the other, try to talk the other side down, or we can go all fucking Witcher on this and take the path of neutrality and just be like, you know what? This is your fight. We were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're gonna keep going. So I guess we should decide how we want to act before we start speaking in one regard or the other, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Or do you
not
want to
one
just play it out?
Yeah, no, it's fine to share player opinions so that we can make a decision together as a team. I don't think my character much cares for werewolves. Sees them as monsters, and in this case, thinks the prince is going to be more amenable to us if we, don't side with werewolves. Otherwise, we're going to have a hard time replacing the King Eodrin, unless the prince is a werewolf, in which case, fucking I know. So I'm all for walking towards the guards and past the guards because we're not guards, and they're paid and trained to do this. We just keep going towards Fort Vigilant. They got this.
Okay.
It's my opinion.
Pearson's opinion, in character, Pearson is sympathetic to the wounded animal, but he's also smart enough. He has no idea what this situation is, what the context of the situation is. So he's playing it as if, you know what would have happened if we weren't here? Let's just let it play out naturally, because if we start to affect one side or the other, it could spell some problems. So he wants to take a neutral path. However, if the majority of the group starts showing some compassion, he'll rationalize it a little bit, let's say, right? Because the situation is murky. So he's slightly malleable, but he'd like to not be involved either.
Excellently put. I would say Finn is kind of in that same boat where it's like, sorry.
Okay.
I will say
Oh,
Cole is
boy.
in a very stupid mindset, but he'll see what this goes.
Okay.
What do you mean, stupid mindset?
As in, he's seeing two people poised to battle, and he wants in on this.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
So
Well-
you guys are mostly neutral.
Mostly, but malleable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm neutral but malleable.
I'm not of the neutral mindset. I'd be happy to kill all these werewolves. I just
Oh,
I
uh,
just want to leave, walk past to Fort Vigilant. I don't want to fight.
I almost want to kill the guards.
The-
To let
Here's the
him
interesting
go?
thing. Here's the interesting thing, but why would Keen want to do that?
Doesn't want
Because
to
he
waste
can
a
be
potion.
considered a monster himself, and he wants to give this guy a chance.
Okay.
He doesn't know the full details of any of this,
Right.
so
Well, if we don't help, there's no guarantee that the wolves.
Well,
will
it should totally be a sporting chance. Cole can go help the werewolves. Keen can go help the guards, and then you guys can fight it out, and everyone
No.
else can just walk past to Fort Vigilant.
or we can, especially Keen, since he's most concerned about this, he can start getting some context. Be like, whoa, everyone, just slow the fuck down. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, that might be a
That's
good idea.
feasible.
Gauge
Yeah.
the situation.
that
Try
would be
and
better.
manage
Okay,
it.
I'm up for that. Just
Yeah.
to figure out what's going on.
I will say, hang on. The one you healed is slowly backing away because he's probably not going to stand danger close.
Yep.
All right. All right. So you guys, out of character, have a game plan.
Yes.
I think
Sure.
so.
All right. So we will go back into character. They are, both sides are they've stopped. And the werewolves, except for the one who's now standing in the middle of the road, fully upright, the others are kind of growling and ready to pounce. The guards are all weapons drawn behind their shields.
Okay. Pearson can sense that the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife, and he looks around to his companions to see if anyone else is going to say anything.
Keen has his bow down but is ready to attack the guards.
Okay. And then Pearson will say, hold up. It's clear we're right in the middle of something. And if either of you want any potential allies or any potential enemies, I suggest you explain yourselves and explain this whole situation before you start killing each other.
The werewolf that is standing fully upright looks to one of the guards and says, "Well, Sir Walker, perhaps you would like to explain to him." The guard very angrily says, "You have no right to call me that anymore." And after that, she looks to Pearson and says, "You seem to have stumbled upon a genocide. Though whose, it has yet to be decided, it would seem." Okay, go ahead.
Pearson is going to be like, it was pretty clear that you two are fully intent on murdering on each other. We just want to know why.
The werewolf shakes her head and she says, "I'd rather not." And the guard, Sir Walker, says, "Lies! Hundreds of my men lie dead to your beasts." She shakes her head and says, "And hundreds of mine lie dead to your blades." The guard, Sir Walker looks to you and says, "She will fill your ears with honey, but they are but lies. Come with us to Fort Vigilant. We will let you know exactly what's going on." The werewolf shakes her head again and says, "You are smart enough, then I assume that you do not want to engage. Good. Though I offer the same to you. If you are truly interested in learning the truth, you are welcome in my camp."
Well,
Oh, truth. Pearson won't wax philosophical and ask what is truth. Instead, he'll look to his companions while we go metagame and decide who we want to follow. I lean towards the humans because that has to do with our current objective. But
Why
I
not
have other
both?
ideas.
I will ask the guards before we actually get into metagaming.
Uh-huh.
If we do go with you, are you going to let the injured one go?
Sir Walker looks around and says, "If they attack, we will defend, and we will eventually wipe them out. But we are not in a position of advantage."
All right. And now we enter metagame. I I don't mind. I mean, I like the idea of going with the werewolves. I don't mind going with the humans either. I'm neutral.
I agree. Since going with either side, since we really still have no idea what's going on, I think it's fair to assume that these guys operate. The soldiers, these guardsmen, operate Fort Vigilant. That's where we want to go. That's the side we want to appease to. If things change, if other things come to light, so be it. But I think the safer bet is to go with their own kind, regardless of how sympathetic or unsympathetic the werewolves are. Right now, they both could be lying. They both could be telling the truth. It could just be a matter of opinion. But they both are intend on killing each other, so no one is better than the other, frankly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
And honestly, if we go to the fort and we hear something that we don't like, we can always try and talk to the werewolves afterwards.
Exactly. But for now, I say it's best to go with the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
Anyone
something
else?
nice, so that'll go a long way, hopefully.
Yep.
Then going back into character, I will turn and yell back to the one that is standing upright. Sorry, but we have to go with the humans. Make sure you attend to this guy.
Several of the werewolves kind of gnash and one barks, but the one standing upright looks at you for a long time and then says, "I will not stop you." And then she looks to Sir Walker and says, "Tell my husband I said hello, if you would be so kind." To that, Sir Walker spits back, "He is no husband of yours." And the werewolves start retreating.
All right.
All right. So,
So that's a situation.
yeah, Pearson will look to this Sir. Sorry, Sir. It
Walker.
wasn't Roderick. Oh, pardon me.
Walker, like
Walker.
Texas
Walker. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna remember that now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good mnemonic. Not really a mnemonic. Anyway, he'll look to Sir Walker, and he'll say, "As far as first impressions go, that probably wasn't the best for any of us, but we can't control the world. We are, however, the heroes of Lady Selene, and we have issues of great importance with your liege, the prince. Is it fair that we will accept your invitation to go back to travel with you to Fort Vigilant? And perhaps you can fill us in on this whole situation."
He looks at each of you in turn, and especially Kip. His eyes linger for a while, and he says, "I will not turn away extra blades." If
Oh,
what
we're
you
more
s-
than just blades.
He said, "If what you say is true, then you will want to speak to my liege."
We haven't come all this way just to start fucking lying now. Let's go.
All right.
Come along, Kip.
Ruff.
Kip keeps
We also
looking back
have
at the
a
werewolves, but
dragon.
follows you.
Yeah.
All right. So they escort you to Fort Vigilant, which is still about half a day's journey away.
Mhm.
You are, of course, free during this time to question any of them or choose to remain silent.
Oh.
It's completely up to you.
Okay. I have plenty of questions, but I've been talking a lot, so I'll open the floor to the other players first before I start blabbing.
I'm good. I'm just going to make sure that I ride close to Kip and make sure that he is fine.
Finn has no questions for humans.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
mons.
Humans.
All right.
Jarek doesn't have any questions either. Well, rather, he'll remain silent. It would be a lie to say he doesn't have any questions. He elects to remain silent. That way he can kill people later and claim that he was right.
That's the way to go. Cole?
I'm interested in the guardsman that's been traveling with us.
Who, Jaden?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be noted that the entire time Jaden was standing in front of Jarek with his sword drawn and visibly shaking. Between Jarek
Even
and
at
Cole.
the tavern?
No. Since he ran into the werewolf.
I like to think that's his default of just different characters.
No. The second he thought maybe his liege was in danger.
Oh.
Am I? Oh, yeah, I remember him now.
Mm.
He's the one that Jarek, quote unquote, saved.
Yes, his.
No, he actually did save him, but for what ends? Well, if no one has any, or no one elects to ask questions, Pearson
Go for it, Inferno.
Pearson's not
Do it.
afraid.
Go
So while
for
we
it.
travel, Pearson will say, now, correct me if I'm wrong. I was a city slicker for a very, very large amount of my life, but some of the shit that we have seen has made me a believer in all sorts of crazy things. The way the she-wolf was talking about husbands and whatnot, I'm assuming some curse or some other affliction, some sort of disease, something has attacked Fort Vigilant, and now individuals you used to call brothers and sisters have now become monsters?
Sir Walker looks around uneasily at the guards around him and then says, I am forbidden to speak of the details. You will have to talk to our liege, but it is, as you say, the curse is passed to those who are bitten. Sometimes they die, sometimes they're fine, other times they become what you saw.
I see. And they have no interest in being cured? If there even is such a thing?
He is silent for a while and then says, the answer to that does not really matter.
Why do you say that?
My liege will wipe them out. Therefore, it is not a soldier's place to question such outcomes.
That's weird. Because, I'm just saying, if my wife, who I love very dearly, was ever afflicted by a curse, if she became a monster, I would do everything I could to help her and stop that, rather than just go straight to the killing. I'm sure it must have crossed your minds too, right?
The soldiers around you kind of shuffle uneasily, and Sir Walker is quiet for some time, and then he says, maybe a bit stronger than needed, but you have not seen what they have done to the surrounding villages, the mess they leave behind of our people. They are a menace.
I don't know. We'll see. It's too early to tell. But if what you say is true, then the only thing that stopped those werewolves from attacking us was that they were outnumbered and they were not feeling particularly suicidal.
He looks at you, and his eyes at least shine honestly or intently. And he says, had we not come, I have no doubt you would be dead or they would be.
Pearson gives a thoughtful nod. Sometimes that's how the world is. I understand it. Kill or be killed. But they said, yeah, anyways, but you know what? Pearson's done asking questions of the foot soldier. It's clear that this knight either doesn't want to talk about it or he's ignorant about things. The reaction he got when he talked about, if it was your wife or your loved ones and their nervous shuffling, he's learned now not to press the issue. He doesn't want to upset the guys that are actually escorting them after all. Pearson's learned enough in this travel that maybe you shouldn't rock the boat all the fucking time. So I'm good to continue.
All right, so after about half a day's travel, you arrive at Fort Vigilant, which is a fairly impressive fort, despite its small size. It is one wall surrounding what could be best described as a military town. This is not the kind of place that many civilians live. There are a few families from soldiers that are billeted here from time to time, but it is a rather small and lacking in comforts. But it is incredibly sturdy. The walls are solid and high. There is only one gate in. And let me go ahead and put your tokens there. As you arrive and start passing under the gate, Sir Walker says, welcome to Fort Vigilant. It is a bit more crowded than usual. The soldiers here to fight the war, and the refugees from the surrounding countryside seeking shelter from the beasts.
Pearson gives a nod. From where we're from, the Sunset Tower, it for a very long time, and still continues to be in similar circumstances. It's good that you're protecting those who need help.
He nods. his approval of your words, and then says, "This way, I will take you to my liege."
Okay.
Excellent.
And at this point, when we're walking, Pearson will whisper to Jarek, "Okay, this is more your purview from now on. I'm fine with talking with the grunt soldiers, but you're from Cullhaven, Prince, royalty. I think we're now entering your wheelhouse, not mine."
So be it.
Okay.
Squee,
All right. Yes.
how are the general populace reacting to Kip?
Amazed. I keep
Amazed?
forgetting because I'm
Bewildered?
used to him being there, but
Yes.
the guards have gotten kind of not used to him, but they've stopped staring at him quite so much. But pretty much everyone you pass by points. Some murmur that dragons have come to fight the werewolves, hopefully. Others kind of just watch him warily as he passes. You do see, kind of like they said, a lot of what appear to be refugees, families that have taken shelter in the walls, and over 150 soldiers, more or less, either on the walls or in the town itself. Now, I don't have any map or anything for the inside of the back building. It is larger than the rest. It looks to be the commander's quarters or headquarters, if you will. You are guided through the houses and into the large house that is simply furnished but sturdily built. You see weapons on tables everywhere. And you are led to a back room where Sir Walker knocks on the door, and you hear, "Come in." And you are ushered through, and you see Prince Eodrin. He is in his 40s. He has a unshaven face, but his hair is still well kept. He is definitely a fighter. He carries himself as one who's been in armor his entire life and wears a sword on his hip as if it were a part of him. He is on his knee in front of a little girl who is about 3. And Jarek, you would know this as his daughter, and I guess what you would say third in line to the throne, Delilah.
Yes, his future puppet.
Yes.
Jarek is well aware of her.
His future puppet.
Oh.
She's adorable. She's perfect size.
Puppet, not puppin.
I know.
But puppet
I-
works too, I guess.
He looks up from brushing her hair back, and he says, "Sir Walker, you've returned, and brought guests, I see." He stands up. "Who, may I ask, are you?"
Jarek looks at Sir Walker, and a small grin pops on his face. This is Sir Walker's job.
Sir Walker says, "My liege, we found these travelers attending a wounded werewolf. We saved them before the others could ambush them, as they were about to do. They claim to be champions from Lady Selene here on urgent business." The prince's eyes, or his eyebrows raise when he hears the words, and he looks to you and says, Well, where do I start? Attending an injured werewolf, you say? What exactly do you mean by that? And he's not looking at his captain of the guard. He's looking straight at you guys as he says this.
We'll answer him.
Jarek, because he
What's
wasn't involved in that at all, is going to be an asshole like Jared is and looks at Key.
Fun. Okay. We saw an injured being and, taking pity, decided to help it.
The prince listens to your words, sits down in a high-backed chair behind a table, and for an uncomfortable amount of time is wrapping his gauntleted fingers on the bench, staring at you as if judging you. He doesn't look very pleased.
I'm staring back.
After a very long, uncomfortable moment, Sir Walker says, "My lord, they are new to the situation. You know how the beast can speak with honey words." At that, the prince looks at his captain and nods and says, "Yes, of course. I do understand. It would have been better if you had let it die or killed it mercifully. They are nothing if not dangerous." In any case, on to other matters. As Lady Celine has not graced our court in some time, how is she?
Oh, Prince Eodrin, Lady Celine has fared far better than she currently is these days.
He nods. "Yes, I've heard tales of a war. Very unfortunate. And what business would you have with me that you would not impart to my father?"
Jarek considers, because he's been thinking about this for the past 5 days, and he realizes that, well, he hates peasants, but he doesn't like nobles, doesn't like diplomacy, and he will kill anyone who pisses him off because he's that kind of dude. No, just kidding about that last part. My bad. Jarek says, "We're visiting you because you are the most capable of the remaining rulership of Cullhaven."
If you are jesting, it is not funny. My father is twice the king I will ever be.
Your father is fucking nuts.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Finn stares at Keen
Oh
and
my God.
leaps at him, covering his mouth.
Well, Jarek was going to attempt to control the situation, and
Yep.
well, it's gonna be like full whenever you give an answer to the riddle.
Give me a sec. Keen, first
the
and
water
foremost,
fill with
roll
water?
me a D100.
Okay.
Pearson's looking for the exit.
56.
Okay. That's could have been worse. Eodrin stands up, draws his sword, points it to you, and say, "Apologize, filth, or before I cut your tongue out."
He's sorry. He's sorry. Let's not get into madness here. We're just Keen hasn't been feeling so good lately, isn't that right, Keen? He's just I think it's the weather, too much sun. We're sorry.
What I say is the truth.
Oh my god. Oh.
What? What?
Jarek
Tell me what,
looks
okay?
at
What?
Keen like Keen has
I mean-
lost his fucking mind.
Okay, I'll just you guys do it. You guys handle whatever.
No, it's too late.
We can't unfuck this situation. You punched a hornet's nest, and now we're gonna get stung. That's
Well, this will
fine.
be interesting. No, it's just going to be interesting. Let's see
Yeah.
where this goes.
Don't get me
Let's
wrong.
see where this
Don't get me
goes.
wrong. Burn. Nothing I say or make sounds at is in negative to your actions. I'm just shocked.
It's different.
Mhm.
Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. Also, Burn, I'm all for this, but Finn's just gonna be Finn, being like, "Fuck."
Okay. And as I say that, let me figure out exactly what would happen here.
I'm also trying to figure out what my character would do and/or say at the same time. So give me.
Finn would just be panicking.
I know
Just keep
exactly
going.
what Cole's gonna do, but he's gonna need to take the first step before he's gonna do that.
Tell you guys what. I need to go to the restroom anyway. Give me a
Okay.
couple minutes. I'll be
Yeah,
right
yeah.
back.
I gotta come.
1 second.
Think it for a couple minutes too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Gotta run, grab a drink. That's
Yeah,
hilarious,
but,
though. He's
That was
fucking crazy.
I don't like that you said that. Well, it's the truth. Well, okay.
I mean, it's weird because Finn, Finn's had to deal with some pretty snooty, high elves, and, would love, it is kind of in that same boat with Pierce and the Lady Celine, where it's like, yeah, I don't mind, taking it to the man, but, Finn's all talk. Finn would never actually do it.
See, Cole would totally be that guy who does that, but he knows through too many other encounters that doing that just makes people upset, so he lets other people talk.
Yeah, and Pearson's learned from his dealings with the Lich King about holding his tongue, because at the first with Lady Selene he had no respect for her whatsoever, but everyone else was really nice, right? So he was like this in this situation, so I have to be reflective of this. Man, I don't know. Pearson's either gonna laugh or he's gonna try to save King's ass.
Jarek's in stunned disbelief.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Inferno. If anyone's gonna step up, it's gonna be Cole.
No,
Oh my god.
I have a Hail Mary pass, of something that Pearson will say to see if it cools the situation. If it doesn't, then that'll be that. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Huh.
We'll see. Pearson's just going to say something to diffuse the situation. He's going to just appeal to common sense and see if this guy's... He's either going to be so angry he's going to ignore it, or he's going to calm down at least a little. We'll see.
All right.
And then we'll play it out. And then I think we'll go to Plan Cole, which I have a feeling involves picking up the king and throwing it or the prince.
That would be great.
Whoa! Okay, so I
there goes the collective good alignment of the party. Then.
So while Squee is both while he's still thinking, while he's away, this won't really mean much to a few of you, but there's this rabbit that's been hanging around my house. I think he's been eating my garden, but he's so cute, and I've called him Knuckles because he's a jackrabbit.
That's great.
And he's big too. He's a big guy. He was sitting in my parking spot.
You've elected to spare the rabbit eating your garden and sitting in your parking spot?
Yeah, well, this is the funny thing, is that I share a home with someone, so it's as much, I guess, my garden as someone else's, but it's not really my garden because I just recently moved. And, Bunny's got to eat, and it's just flowers I think he's eating. So it's annoying, I understand, but I don't care. Because Bunny... See, if I had to pay and spend all that time gardening and pay for the flowers and keep it up and then have just some stupid ass rabbit eat it, I understand how upset. But since I don't have to, I didn't invest that time or money. I'm just like, oh, Bunny, I gotta call you Knuckles. So that's how that happened. No, we're not going to retcon shit. We're going to have it play out. It'll be fun. All we can do is play in character. That's what
is someone in chat crying for retcon?
No. Burn. He's lying down. He can still hear us.
Oh.
But he says you can go ahead and retcon it. I don't want to retcon it. I think it puts us in an interesting situation. And you know what the best thing is? Say it goes disastrous and we have to fight our way out, right? Well, then we just go to the werewolves. So we're like, hey guys, how's it going?
The werewolves can't rule over... Well, I mean, I'm not saying they can't rule over Coldhaven.
That sounds like quitters speak.
Let me take that back. I'm not saying they couldn't. I think I would have a better chance of ruling over Coldhaven.
We're gonna have to go to plan, install the daughter as a regent with, or install daughter's ruler with Richard Harkin as regent. That's Plan Z.
Okay.
What up? So Pearson, if there's time, Pearson would like to say something. Maybe. It's
Yes,
up to you. if
There
there's
is
enough
time.
Uh-huh.
I'm basically going to have Keen roll a die, and what you say may or may not have a positive, negative impact on it.
Burnerator went the way down,
Oh,
according to what he typed in the group chat.
But maybe he'll come back.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
All
but
right.
you want to roll the dice. You want the dice to roll first, and then have Pearson speak. Okay,
Yes.
groovy. Sense to me.
I can roll it. What do you want to roll?
Well, no, Pearson. No, Pearson. You go first, and that might change.
Okay.
Yeah.
The roll.
Mm-hmm.
Groovy. So Pearson will just say, "We are the heroes of Lady Celine, not necessarily the best spokespeople. Our friend, our ranger, was a bounty hunter by trade and is not used to speaking to royalty. If no one here wants to hurt each other, and any disrespect can be sorted out without bloodshed. If you like, we can leave your presence. Some of us or all of us. But let's not do anything we regret."
Okay. That is going to remove the worst option of the dice roll, which is good.
Hey, I'm all down for that.
Could someone roll me a D100 and pick high or low?
I can
Like
roll
high
it.
or low as far as good or bad.
I'll pick low.
Okay. He is going, still pointing the sword at you in very closed teeth, say, "Yes. Leave my presence. Leave my fort. Go back to the beasts you want to help so much."
Okay. I'm not gonna argue with him.
Jarek will actually swivel his head slightly and say, "Leave." And towards the group.
Okay. I will leave the tent. Actually, I'll leave the entire fort if we're being escorted, or if Pearson in particular is being escorted. He does smooth sailing here. We're not going to give them any more of a reason to attack us.
Sorry, I was AFK. We're being asked to leave.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Finn will leave.
Thankfully, due to some fast talking from Pearson, you weren't attacked. That's good.
Oh, good job, Pearson. High five.
Thank you. Hey, imaginary high five.
Yay.
Jarek will actually keep his place, which is why he tilted his head and asked his companions to leave.
Mm-hmm. The prince... does everyone else go, other than Jarek?
Cole is going to stay to see what Jarek does.
Cole, please, follow them.
He gives a snort and leaves.
Nice. Cole snort.
Jarek clenches his teeth and to regain his composure. I am Jarek Veermole. I have a legacy of serving Colhaven and your father. I was a former interrogator in the court of Iron Hall. I ask that you hear my words despite what transpired.
With that, there is a pause as the prince, whose face is deep red, slowly looks to you and says, "I have heard such a name. Out of respect for the service you've given me, speak."
It is not just Lady Celine, formerly of Whitebridge, who is having difficulties in the realm. The Freelands are in complete tatters. Extraplanar rifts have opened, and demons have come pouring out of them. Dwarves and orcs have all struggled to
survive a threat that I personally think will be turning eastward towards Cullhaven. We've received information confirming that the High Elves have thrown in their lots with these demonic invaders, and considering the power and legacy of Cullhaven, it is my fear, one that is backed up by fact, that they will be looking to demolish the proud and majestic nation before it can attempt to side with Lady Selene and the dwarves. Hence, why the champions of Lady Selene have arrived, in part to offer help, and then after providing help, ask for assistance.
He ponders your words and then says, "And my father?"
Your father, we visited him, and he personally requested that I come to visit you to speak of such things. Your father is concerned that you have been too far away from court, and he wanted I, a longtime servant of this great nation, to ask you to return when it is possible for you to do so.
He shakes his head and drops his sword. It's been pointed at you this most of the time, or at least been out of its sheath. And he shakes his head and starts pacing. No, I can't go back until the menace here is solved. The people need me. I was charged with this. Your father would understand. He looks back up at you as he says that.
It's not just these people here who need you. Your father needs you and the entire nation of Cullhaven. Your father, he has been a great ruler, but he is getting old. You need to be there to demonstrate your own strength, so that when his time comes, you will be in place to guide Cullhaven into a new age.
He paces, he stops pacing, stares at you and says, "I shall be there. But after this is taken care of, this threat is too grave. If the people of Cullhaven knew what really..."
Then please, as a humble servant of Cullhaven, and Jarek will respectfully bow his head, inform me what this menace is, so that I may put my lord's mind at ease.
He looks to you for a very long time, no longer angry, but more considering. And then he sheaths his sword and motions for you to come closer. And says,
Jarek Viermal will do so.
"Jarek Viermal, are you truly a servant of Cullhaven?"
I was born here, and so much of my toil has been spent on this land. I care deeply for this, and care deeply for your family. I will do what I can.
Then perhaps there is something you could do for me to resolve this situation quickly so that I may return to my father's side. And he's saying this as if he's thinking as he's talking. And he says, "The werewolves need to be wiped out, but if we were to know where they live, we could hit them all at once. Your companion, the one who I almost sliced his tongue out. I did order you to leave, and I did so very angrily. Go with your companions. Leave the town, Jarek Viermal, servant of Cullhaven. Make contact with these werewolves that you helped. Find out where they live, and get word to me so that we may once and for all end this."
Jarek will keep his head lowered and says, "I will do as my prince commands."
He nods and he says, "Be careful, Jarek. They will pour honey into your ears and vile lies. It is their way. Do not listen to them.
Jarek will respectfully remain silent.
Now go. The sooner the wolves are dead, the sooner I can return to Iron Hall.
Jarek will bow again, and swivel on his heels, and walk out.